Welcome back to the Sylvia streaming towers. And I'm just gonna turn that up just a teeny bit. I'm not obsessed with that book musical or anything. What? And congratulations, Jade, on getting the first reading. Congrats. Hello, everyone. Hello. Hi, Kiwi. Hi, Griffin. I know I said hi to Jade. And hi, wifey. It's my platonic wife, Foxy. And then there's Deltora. Stinky Deltora. Thank you for the blink reminder. Blink. How is everyone today? How is everyone? Y'all be good? Kiwi's trying to fight boredom, but that's great because I'm here now. Hey, Pat. Oh, you're just going for the flippy. There you go. I made it easier for you. Just for you, I suppose. It's the least I can do. 1 second. Oh my god, I just started choking on air because, yep, you're eepy. I am not the streamer right now to be eepy with. You want to know why? I'm highly caffeinated. I don't usually drink this much caffeine in a day. Usually I have like one drink during lunchtime if I have lunch. But today I got up a little bit too early. I didn't realize it was too early, but like, I didn't open the day. So I got up a little bit extra early and I had like extra time. And so by the time I was done getting ready, I was like, I have like 20 extra minutes. So I just ended up going to work early, getting a drink because it's a free drink because you can get a free drink before your shift. And I got some free food because you get food markouts. And then on my lunch, I got another free drink because you can also get free drinks on your breaks. And then after, I'm actually currently drinking, I got another free drink and I'm currently drinking it right now. Also, I don't have work tomorrow. Woo! You got food, so you'll be energetic soon. Very good. I'm the opposite. I did have a little bit of a snack before stream because I didn't want to get hungry. I didn't want to interrupt stream. I mean, I do have snacks over here, but just in case. It was a little slice of banana bread. Ooh, banana. That's a weird word. Banana. I cut myself today at work. That was so much fun. I don't even know how. We got these stupid little ice bins, and so like I was putting the cover back on because I was cleaning it, and I just hit like the edge of it. It just was like really tiny, sharp corner, and it was just like, and I was like, so my knuckle on my right hand, just one of them, it's the tiniest little cut ever. It's like the size of like the edge of a fingernail. But I was just like, why is there black stuff under it? And I'm like, and I kept stressing and I couldn't get it out from under the skin. So I like sprayed it with a fuck ton of like antiseptic and all that whatnot to try to make sure it's good because I couldn't get it out. But I'm like, okay, if I lose my finger, I sue Starbucks. Because if it's something that was going to be something that was going to be really bad for me, that means that they haven't been training their employees to properly clean it because I'm never there that late. I'm an opener for fuck's sake. Why was I there? Why was I there in the afternoon? I usually open. Anyway, I've never had to do it before, so it wasn't my fault that it wasn't properly cleaned, and I was just like in the middle of cleaning it, and I was just like, okay, someone else has to finish it because now I have a boo-boo. And it was not fun. Not fun at all. Yeah. It's fine. It doesn't hurt that much, and it's probably fine. It's not like having any issues or anything like that. I'll have to check on it later, though. So annoying. But it is what it is, I suppose. Also, I found out, I know I mentioned it before, that there was a potential promotion coming up. Feel free to interject at any point, chat, and I'll respond to you. I'm just kind of ranting. And so you guys know that I was like, I'm not gonna get the promotion, but I might as well apply. So it turns out I was wrong. It wasn't 2 open positions. It was 3. And you know what? I didn't even get an interview. My manager was like, I don't think you're there yet. Didn't even get an official interview. He was like, you're not ready. And I was like, at least let me try with an official interview for the position, my dude. Like, I know I'm not ready, and I know you know I'm not ready, but at least let me attempt the interview, for fuck's sake. No promotion for dear, but whatever. That just means I'm going to be cutting my available hours so I can, like, have a more set schedule and focus on getting into streaming more, promote the deer, whatever. It's whatever. I'm just going to focus on streaming more. It's going to be great. It's going to be fantastic. I'm just a little guy. Guys. I don't know how many of you follow Gihan. Can we get a shout out for Gihan? Del Tora. Do the exclamation point and the slash one, because the slash one makes it easier for people to follow. But I also want to see a clip. Because Gihan was actually working on art for me on his last stream. They're just so excited. I'm so excited. It's looking so great. What is this game?
Oh no!
Oh, it's loud. Shit. How do I turn down the volume of that? That's so goddamn loud.
No one saw that.
Let's turn that down. Let's turn that way fucking down. Oh my god, my ears. Imposter? Yeah, Guillaume's not loud. He's a really chill streamer. What slash one? You know how you do... Wait, why won't it let me? What? I'm gonna have to DM you the slash. Because it's not letting me, like, send just a straight up slash. So we do a slash. No! There. A slash command. I'll do it since you don't know. So you have to do slash shout out. And then Gihan VT. I got it. There. That one. That one's the Twitch one. And it just like pops up the little follow thing at the top and it makes it easy. You see? You see how easy it is? If you're not following Gihan, you should. He's awesome. He's great. That's his Blue's husband. He's working on a webtoon. And the webtoon is so... I don't think I have a command for it. I should add a command for the webtoon. You didn't know what followed the slash? The word shout out. The word shout out followed this. Del Toro, your week is up. The week is up of me not bullying you. It's too late, Del Toro. It's too late. Your week of non-bullying is up. Though, to be fair, I didn't stream that much, so you get one singular cookie. Bonk you're a mod, Foxy. You're a mod, Foxy. Foxy, you're a mod. Back to getting abused. Lovingly abused. You know how it is. Gotta lovingly abuse my mods. Super exciting to be lovingly abused by me. Don't you want me to abuse you, chat? Gotta lovingly abuse you. It's because I love you guys. I gotta bully the people I love. Ask Foxy. I bullied her so much. She can't speak right now because she's sick. And, I bullied her so much in voice call yesterday. Because Multi was driving, so he couldn't read. He couldn't read the Discord. He couldn't read... Yeah, but yesterday you couldn't speak. So he couldn't read the Discord voice call text chat because he was driving. And so I was reading out Foxy's messages. And then every once in a while I was like, Foxy says she's short. Peak comedy chat. It was great. It was amazing. Anyway, I'm very simple to please. I'm a very simple deer. Delicious little caffeinated beverage. It's a frap. By the way, if you ask for a frap at Starbucks, if you don't say like whatever flavor cream, it's caffeinated. So the caramel ribbon crunch, caffeinated. Mocha frap, caffeinated. The only ones that come non-caffeinated by default are like the vanilla bean, because it's literally called the vanilla bean cream frap, and the strawberry cream frap. Literally, if any of them have the word cream in their name, then it's not caffeinated. But all the other fraps, caffeine. So every time someone gets their kid a frap, caffeinated. You only get the vanilla bean, no caffeine. That's literally just milk and ice and a little bit of powder. I want you to know how you make the vanilla bean frap is it's a couple of scoops of the vanilla bean powder, whole milk, and ice. That's all you're getting, Del Toro. You're getting milk and ice with a little bit of flavoring and whipped cream. That's all you're getting, bro. It's not like vanilla syrup or nothing. It's a powder. That's right, good soup. Boop. I've been booped. Thank you for the boops. I pushed the wrong button. Oh, I forgot. I was going to set up music for the VODs. VODs are music lists. But I was going to set it up so where like stream can't hear it, but VODs can hear it. And it's like stream friendly, but dang, y'all can't hear it. Tragic. Oh well. Oh well. I'll have to do it in the future. I've been trying to catch up on my VOD uploads. So I got a couple of those done, so that's good. A stretch and a posture check. Okay. Oh! I popped my back. That felt so good. Pop my neck. Ah, that's better. Pop my fingers. That's what I do with my stretches. Is I pop all the bones in my body that I physically can while sitting down, and that's how I stretch. And also I do the normal stretch of like, stretch. And then I also sit up straight. The reason why, actually, fun fact, so those actually used to be two separate redeems, stretch and posture check. But I found that every time I stretched, it would also make me sit up straight again. I was like, I'll just make them the same. Because every time I would sit up straight, I would want to stretch as well. Whenever someone did the posture checks, I was like, I'll just make them the same freaking redeem since I'm basically doing them at the same time whenever one gets redeemed, Sorry, my nose is a little sniffly because pollen went fucking crazy today. So there was a lot of pollen. So if I sniffle, well, I'm sorry, chat. You have to deal with it. I'm going to blow my nose 1 second. I'm going to mute. Okay. You got me. No, it's literally, it's allergies, Foxy. How are you going to get me sick? We don't even live in the same redacted. I'm gonna drink more of my frap. I got the caramel ribbon crunch, which is dark caramel. It's so good. I love the little crunchies. I'm not sick. I'm fine. It's all good. It's all good. It's all good. No panicking. Stop it. Oh, chat, I have a question for you. So, my plan for my 2D debut is to do a karaoke stream, right? Right? But the thing is that, like, there are two different ways that could go. And I could do like a normal karaoke stream where like I have a list of songs and you guys pick which one's next. Or I could do an Epic the Musical. Or I could do both and do one do them at different parts in the 2D debut. Because I wanted to make it a big both. Yeah, just both, right? Both, but at two different times. Because I don't think I want to do regular karaoke and then go into Epic the Musical karaoke. I think I should like do them like at two different points in the 2D debut. It's gonna be a whole event. It's gonna be a whole ass event. Allergies. Ugh. Yeah, I know, right? So I'm gonna write this on the list. I have a list. It's currently blank. I'm making it with you right now. I'm cheating. Karaoke and Epic Musical karaoke. Obviously, games with friends. How do I... repo? Question mark? Ooh, it would be fun to play with Blue and the gang. Pummel party. How do I... wiggle? Pummel party. I'm gonna have to set this up. It's gonna be a whole thing, guys. What other I have to look at my Steam account now to see what multiplayer games I have. Get out of the way. Model. I'm talking to my applications. Am I getting sick? Because I keep coughing. Foxy, did you get me sick from another state over through the Discord call? Is that possible? Am I not actually having allergies? Am I legit just straight up sick? I guess I'm getting sick. You see, this is what happens when you don't get your dose of chat, your dose of streaming. You get sick and you die. That's what happens to VTubers, guys. You get sick and you die. Let's see. What games will I play on stream with my friends? Golf with friends could be fun. Athena. I'm gonna just write that down. I don't really want to play the crab games, which is like knockoff Squid Games. Don't worry, I won't be sick on your birthday because I'll tell my body to stop it. Just Act Natural would be fun. That one's, maybe. Depends on how many people we get for it. Do I have golf with friends? Yeah, I have golf with friends. Potentially could play Plate Up. I'll put that on the list because I'm pretty sure Foxy has that. Pretty sure Foxy has that. I'm just gonna make the text a little bit bigger. Why is it so tiny? I can't see. I'm blind. And then I already got Repo on the list just in case. And then okay. Among Us would be fun. But a lot of people who I want to play Among Us with don't like the lying aspect of Among Us, so we'll probably do Among Us parentheses the hide and seek. That way there's no lying. There's no lying required. Why is it not doing what I want it to? I'm trying to format it in a specific way, and it's not doing it because it hates me. Okay, I fixed it. No, I didn't. Okay, I fixed it. Thank God. Okay. So I got karaoke and epic musical karaoke. That's going to be on 2 different segments of it. Spaced out with, like, there's going to be other stuff in between. My hands are so dry. I hate it when I get off work. My hands are so dry because the soap there is, like, cheap-ass soap. I mean, it works, but, like, I have eczema, so, like, my skin is dry naturally. And then that just dries me out more. Okay, and then I have games with friends. What do people do on debuts? Oh, wait, there's going to be the lore drop, obviously. I'll put that in all caps, because that one is just like, duh, Sylvia. You literally been I've been spending little chunks of time on it here and there, because what I found out was that originally when I would just go for like hours and hours and hours and hours, I would just eventually be like, okay, I'm done, and be done for like a month with it. And so I did have a week span. This was wild, by the way. You know, like that one day when I tweeted it out where I was like 9 hours spent on my lore. And then the next day I spent like 5, and then the next day I spent like 1, and then it was another 1 hour. And so I was just like, okay, I'm not going to go too crazy hard on it. So I've been trying to spend like 15 to 30 minutes like every day or every other day working on it. And so I'm making steady progress with it. Whereas before it was like chunks over time. But since we're getting really, really, really close to the requirements that I've set for myself for my 2D debut, so here is where we are at. We have the 2D model commissioned, and it's like, you know, it's commissioned. It has normal Sylvia, it has dark Sylvia, 2 different outfits, 2 different colors. We're excited for it because dark Sylvia's going to be on a toggle. She's been MIA from the streams for a while because it's annoying to switch to her as a 3D VTuber. Anyway, we're just waiting on the rigging for that, but it doesn't even matter that, like, don't have it yet because the custom overlays are in the works. Literally in the works. Like, right now, in the works. It's been commissioned. It's been in the works. How exciting is that? It's so very exciting. I'm so excited for that. The custom Twitch panels, paid for. We're on the waiting list. How super exciting. I love it. I'm so excited. It's going to be amazing. It's going to be awesome. It's going to have blue little chibi art. I love her chibi art. Honestly, I'm obsessed with Blue and Gihan's art. Yes, new custom overlays. These overlays aren't custom. You can find this shit on Etsy. But these ones are going to be custom. They're going to be custom. They're going to be mine. And no one else is going to have them. And I'm going to be all pretty. And I'm going to be all special. I'm going to have a custom 2D model. And it's going to be all me. And I'm going to be fabulous. And I asked Blue to give us that little redeem thing. You guys remember April Fool's stream? If you were there, there was I don't know why I just used my hands. Y'all can't see my fucking hands. But there was a little toggle where it made the flippy spin in the circle. So I asked her if we could have that as like a rigging toggle. She's like, yeah, that'll be easy. And I was like, woo! How exciting! I'm so excited for that. So, model, custom overlays, which is being on the works. And they're looking like, oh, so pretty, so pretty, so pretty. The custom Twitch panels are going to have chibi art. Blue's chibi art. I love Blue's chibi art. I already said that. Yeah, I already said that. Anyway, it's going to be so cute, so adorable. I'm super excited for it. And then we're currently working on custom emotes. The thing is that the emotes are going to take a little bit because there's 40 of them and about half of them are animated. So it's expensive, but it's okay. Slowly putting aside money for that. And then the custom schedule, I was just going to use, I wanted to use the art that I had for like my overlays. So like the starting, BRB, and ending. It has like, I'm planning on having it be the same art and then use that for the schedule. So it's like nice, cohesive. Unless you guys insist that I get different and separate art for the schedule, but then we'll have to make another new goal because it's $15 for existing art, $15, but if we get new art done, it's $90. So, schedules exist. Yes, Keika. I used to do schedules literally all the time. I have a schedule channel that has cobwebs over it right now. But I'm going to be getting back into it. So, as it stands, tentatively at the moment, we are just saving money for the custom emotes, and then that's it. And then that will be it, which is our current goal. I'm blocking it. But it's expensive because there's 40 emotes and half of them are animated, which takes a lot of work. So it's about $1,000 for the... So like if I do a calculator, that seems like a lot. Let me bring out the calculator. So if I do... Let's see, it's 985 divided by... How many emotes is it? Let me just count them real quick. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37. 37? Okay, well, let me divide it. Divided. Yeah. It's about $25 per emote. You ate the schedule? Okay. God damn it, Jade. God damn it. We need that schedule. So, we're just waiting on me to save up enough money. So, I'm waiting to get paid to see how much I can add to the fund. So, that'll be exciting. Don't mind me checking my account right now to see. You don't even sound surprised, just disappointed. Well, if you're going to take the blame, I'm going to give you the blame. I'm going to just say that, even though it's completely my fault that there's been no schedule, even though I keep saying I'm going to do it. It made you laugh. Okay, good. I did it to make you laugh, obviously. So it's going to, yeah. Last I saw it was pending, so... Okay, but first I have to put money aside for... Alright, I'll do this later. I'll do this later when I'm not on stream and I'm not doing, stuff. When I'm not doing stuff. Okay, I'm just gonna move around a little bit. Sorry. I like moving stuff around as soon as I get it, because otherwise... my brain pretends it has more money than we actually have. Okay, that's better. Why am I getting texted? Oh, it's just coupons for a soap shop. All right, vibing to epic because you're feeling epic. I mean, I like epic. I'm feeling epic. Highly caffeinated for those who can't tell. I mean, ADHD plus caffeine, I'll crash out later. But as long as I continuously keep slowly drinking this drink, I just won't crash out, right? It'll be fine. It'll be amazing. I have to, geez, the condensation. Lily! Oh my gosh! Hi! I remember you. I remember. You think I don't remember? I do remember. Hi, darling. Why do I keep waving my hands? You can't see my hands. God, I could totally, if I wasn't one of the reasons, okay, I'm gonna give you guys the reasons of why I'm a VTuber. One, I've always wanted to be a cute anime girl. Two, pajamas. I don't want to have to get dressed for stream. I want to wear comfy clothes and have my hair in the most obscene bun ever. But I talk with my hands. I just need to get hand tracking. That's all. That's all it is. I just need to get hand tracking. But we're going to become 2D, so it literally doesn't even matter. It literally doesn't even matter. We're about to become 2D. As soon as I can save up enough money for emotes, and I'll be putting aside money from when I next get some money. And we'll slowly but surely get there. No hand tracking either. You just get excited. You want to wave to chat. You're like, hi! But you guys can't see it. You guys can't see it. If I ever do a VR stream, I'll be able to wave to you guys properly then. I can't. Words? What are words? How the fuck am I supposed to know? I'm just a VTuber. I don't know how to read. But you're back from dinner? Well, I hope dinner was good. I hope it was fantastic. Right. We were talking about what people wanted to see from the 2D debut stream. So we got karaoke and Epic the Musical karaoke. Those are two separate things because one of them is normal songs and the other one is the entirety soundtrack of Epic the Musical because I can. It's my stream. You can't stop me. Games with friends. I got a list of games that I can play with friends. I'll have to work that out once I actually know a date for the debut. The lore drop is obviously happening. Lasagna. Oh, I fucking love lasagna. Now I want lasagna. That sounds so good. Meat, cheese, and pasta. That is such a good combination. Oh, love it. By the way, guys, the lore, that's gonna take at least 3 hours. And I'm contemplating on making just a video for it. Because I don't know if I should make, yeah, I'm probably going to end up just making a video for it and then, like, react, like, talking about the video and, like, pausing it throughout the stream because, like, it's going to be a lot to just, like, go off, like, keep on reading and reading and reading and reading, and that way I'll be able to, like, do, like, cool images and that stuff. Yeah. You gotta go! Okay, well, I'm so glad that you stopped by and that you dropped a follow. I will see you next time. Bye, Lily. Thank you for stopping by. All right, what else do people normally do during a debut stream? I'm just a deer. I'm just a deer. I don't know what I'm doing. I mean, obviously, we're going to be doing the model showcase. Should I be putting this in order? Or should I, like, do it in order later? Maybe I should do it in order as I'm going because I have ADHD and I'll forget to do it later because I'm a dumbass. Okay, I'll put model showcase at the top, obviously. Okay, we'll place without format. Okay, model showcase will be first, obviously. Most I've ever seen. This is the most I've ever seen Fox talk because, you know, she can't in real life. Oh, actually, she said she's all better. That she could talk. I don't know how much I believe that, though, because, like, she couldn't talk yesterday at all. So, I believe she should still take a break today just to make sure that it's all good, all okay. I'm actually going to have karaoke and Epic Musical karaoke separated. Which one should I do first? Should I do normal karaoke or Epic the Musical karaoke? No, she doesn't hate you. You're just the middle child, so you get bullied, Kiwi. For those of you who don't know, for my me and Foxy friend group, we've kind of established our own family. So y'all know Blue and Gihan are my parents. They're literally my VTuber mama and papa, and they're married, so it just makes sense. It just makes sense. Foxy's my platonic wife. Kiwi's the middle child brother who we bully. Sichi's the older brother. Multi is the cool, super tall cousin. Falsa? What is Falsa? What did we say Falsa was? Did we establish what Falsa was? I don't know if we established what Falsa was. What did we establish what Falsa was? I don't remember. Falsa, you weren't in the voice call when we were establishing these roles. You're the forgotten child. Yeah, okay, yeah. You're the second middle child, the forgotten one. Poor Falsa. The stepchild? Yeah, the stepchild. Yep. Comrades. Poor Falsa. The houseplant. Yeah, Jade's the houseplant. You can't get out of it now. Called me a baby yesterday because I'm short. Yeah, you're just a little baby. You're the youngest. You're the youngest. You're officially the youngest because you're the shortest. And you're just a baby. And you're so cute. And everybody just takes care of the smallest one. Obviously. Obviously. That's what's happening here. You don't have a choice. Keika's a baby. We love her. Guess what's happening in 4 days? Foxy's birthday, Foxy's birthday, Foxy's birthday. Ah, Keika, I'm gonna need your birthday so I can put it in my calendar. You are at work, quit your job. Ah, she's so tiny! Oh my god, I thought you said you were 5'2" last time. She's gotten shorter since the last time I talked to her, because I could have sworn she said 5'2" when I last talked to her, and now she's saying 5'1". So every time I talk to Keika, she's just gonna get an inch shorter every single time. What do you mean, why are you a mod? Did I forget to tell you I modded you? You've been a mod for a while. I don't know how long. It's January 5th. Oh, hang on. Let me put this in. Hang on. Calendar. I'll just have to do it by month. That'll go faster. January 5th. 5th. That's a Monday this year. What? Okay, what color do I make birthdays? Pink. Okay, let me make that one pink. Make it pink. Does repeat yearly. Save. You're in the calendar. All right. You're a sapphire child. The 9th. You're born on the 9th, Kiwi. You're already in my calendar. You're already in my calendar, Kiwi. I already have you. You can't escape. Can I search? Can I search for events? Do I have multis? I'm pretty sure I have multis. Yep, I got multis. Sometimes I feel like a stalker for my friends because, like, I have notes on... Okay, this sounds bad, but I have notes on all my friends. So I have little notes of things that they like. So like I got their birthday, their favorite color, and any notes of anything that I was like, oh, they said they like this. I sometimes I feel like a stalker. I just got notes on people. If you've interacted with me in private DMs, chances are I have notes on you that you just don't know about. Anyways, yeah. Let's see. Okay, lore drop karaoke, epic musical karaoke, model showcase, but that's first. Games with friends, that's normal. What else? Let me look, actually. If I'm able to get a new a new computer, a new PC. So CG helped me run the numbers about what a new PC would be, and we like quote unquote built one with a budget of 3K, but I was probably going to need 3.5 to 4K for a new PC. There are so many games that I want to play, but I just can't because my computer is like 8 years old now. I love her. She's great. She's amazing. I want to play Detroit Become Human on stream, but it's not going to work. It's not going to work. It's just like, she wouldn't be able to do it. Not even as a PNG. Not even as a PNG. It would just be too much for her. It would just be too much. I got a bunch of horror games planned for October. I got some help from friends with that. I do have Getting Over It, but I think I'll make that like a different type of goal, like a subathon goal. Should I do a subathon on the... No. That'd be weird. No, that's too much. Too much to do subathon. Is it too much to do subathon at 2.0 debut, or is that normal? I don't know what's normal. I'm not normal. I don't know what people do for these things. I haven't been paying attention. I should start paying attention. There's not like a specific... Everything that's on my stream want to playlist, I'm like, I need a better computer for that. I need a better computer for that. I need a better computer for that. It's fine. It's fine. She's great. She works. I've been wanting to play Code Vein recently on stream, but like, she just barely works with it in my model. When did Detroit Become Human come out? Let me look at the store page. It came out a while ago. So, like, I don't think I'll get, like, a lot of new people for it. It's just going to be for, like, me, like, and y'all seeing the choices I make and stuff. I've seen a bit of it. I did see Jacksepticeye's playthrough of it, but I don't think I'm going to make the same choices that he did. It just doesn't make sense. It came out in 2020, so it's been 5 years. It's kind of an old game, but I've been wanting to play it because I love games where it's, like, your choices actually matter. Like, I love that. Let me look at my wish list, actually. Is there anything on my wish list? I'm waiting for some things to go on sale before I get them. Okay, I'm going to need a better computer for that. I could play that one with this computer, but I got to wait for it to go on sale. Sale. Better computer. Better computer. Sale. And I need another person for that one. I want to play Split Fiction with someone. Foxy, anyway, and but I need a better computer for it. Waiting on a sale. Silk Song. When is the release date for Silk Song? It still says to be announced. Oh, this game's out. I've been actually waiting for this game. It's on sale too. I'll have to look at that later after stream. Oh, that game's on sale too. Is there like a sale thing going on right now? No, there's only 2 games. That's not like enough for like a sale thing. I got lots of games on my wish list. I actually don't want that game on my wish list anymore. I'm gonna get rid of that. I'm not actually sure if I want that game. I'm gonna move that down. Wow, I got about 40 games on my wish list. Interesting. Yeah. A lot of the games that I want to play for stream, my computer, she's great. I love her. She's amazing. She's gotten me through a lot. But there are just some things she can't do. And that's okay. Guys. Okay. I just realized something literally yesterday. And I wanted to tell you because this is so very important. What is it called? Okay, so there's this art style. I learned this in middle school called Zentangle. And basically, it's you make the drawing with a bunch of repeated patterns. And okay. Let me get an image. Here is an image that I am stealing from Google. I mean, I'm borrowing for Google just so I can help you guys get. So I need you guys to understand this. So hang on. This is important. Let me get this image. Okay. 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 So this is what Zen Tangle is. So it's basically making it's making the same pattern like over and over and over again. But like with this, when you're like in a closed space, as you can see, like the little circles or the lines, it could be really easy to like make a mistake. And I was thinking about people who had pissed me off yesterday. But we're not getting into why. We're not getting into the why I was thinking about that. I was just basically trying to think about like how those people don't matter kind of thing. Because like there was someone who was like really mean to me before, and I'm like, they're not even online anymore. But anyway, so I started thinking about other people who were like, I didn't like with the art teacher. She was kind of a bitch. But something that like my brain popped into my head, and I think I really needed this, is that when we were learning about Zen Tegel and like people kept complaining like, oh, I keep making mistakes and all that stuff, is that like shortly near the beginning, like we've already started the unit, but the teacher was like, all right, now that we started it, I want you guys to try to see if you can spot the mistake I made in this drawing of mine for the pattern, because like it's easy to make mistakes in those, especially when you like you kind of zone out, you're doing the same thing over and over again. And everyone kept pointing things out, and she's like, wow, you guys did point out some mistakes that I didn't even realize I made, but not any of the 3 mistakes that I wanted you guys to point out. And so yesterday I was thinking about that moment. For some reason, it just was in my head. I was like, well, my brain is obviously trying to tell me something about this moment. And I realized it. Is that the mistakes that we make are so obvious to us. But like other people might not even like, they're just straight up are not going to notice it. They're just not going to notice it. And the things that they think are mistakes might not be even something that you think is a mistake. So what the fuck does it matter what they think? And why are you caring if people point out your mistakes? You're just like, why are they putting in the energy to point out your mistakes in the first place? Because they literally have nothing else better to do. And that was the point that I think my brain was trying to get across to me. Don't dwell on your mistakes too much. People are probably not even going to notice it. And that's what I think my brain was trying to tell me. That's the Sylvia, that's what? That's the Sylvia tidbit advice for today. Or at least at this exact moment. Shit doesn't matter, just do your best. And that's all that anyone can ask for. Yeah, we vibing. Clap. Thank you, Falsta. Thank you. I'm just gonna Google it. What do people do during their 2D VTuber debut? Showcase their new model. Duh. Including a presentation of their vital lore. Duh. A song, play games, or share their streaming schedule. Well, we're already going to be doing karaoke and playing games. And I'm going to be showing you all the new shit that I got. The art showcase. Okay, we'll do model showcase. Art showcase with like all the emotes and everything and whatnot. You love my TED Talk? Good. Good. Very good. What do VTubers do on their debut? Ah, that's a video. I know. I'm not watching a video. I'm not watching a video. Alright, look, here's this. On a debut, first time, full introduction, lore, hobbies, content to expect from, well, this isn't like my debut. This is just like a new model. Whatever, I think that's a good list. The games are probably, I'll just put like normal gaming. Gaming hours. There we go. That's a decent enough list. We're just gonna deal with that. Open this bag. What? I got it covered. Yeah, that's probably what I'll have to do, Multi. I think I got like all the bases actually covered based on what Google was saying. Like showcasing my model and my new art. I'm gonna be playing games, though I only had it listed as games with friends, but I already was like thinking like I'll play my normal games and doing karaoke. So I feel like that's gonna be like enough content because the showcase of the model, I'm gonna at least a lot. I think half an hour for it. right? Or is that too much? Well, there's two versions of the model. There's normal and then there's dark. And I gotta like show you all the little features, and then like it's gonna be awesome. It's gonna be amazing. It's gonna be fantastic. And then we're gonna have to go through all the rest of the art. So that might actually take about 45 minutes total to like the model art and the other art. And then we're gonna have the lore showcase, and that's gonna take at least 3 hours, chat. Y'all are gonna have to buckle the fuck in. Multi knows, Multi can tell you, we barely covered just the magic system in 1 hour, and we didn't even go over everything. We skimmed it. So it's gonna be at least 3 hours, if not 6, for just that. We got karaoke, we got games with friends. Definitely gonna happen. I got so many friends now. I have so many friends now. I appreciate them all so very much. And then I also, it's a re-debut. People see. No, it's not a re-debut. It's a 2.0 debut because this model, my 3D model, so the current Sylvia that you're seeing right now. Do I have a full body? So this Sylvia isn't like the first iteration of Sylvia. I had a Sylvia that was like a dress that I drew, and that was the 1.0. But then I had like a 1.1 and a 1.2 on 1.2. Then I had a 1.3. And I think this is actually 1.4. I think right now y'all are seeing 1.4. And so when we become 2D, it'll be my 2.0 model. Because it'll be super different. That's how that works, right, chat? It's still a re-debut? Hang on. What's the difference between a re-debut and a new model debut? A re-debut is when a VTuber who already has a model and established following debuts with a new model. Oh! But I'm not changing my persona because my persona is just me. I don't have like a fake persona for you or affiliation. A new model debut, on the other hand, is when a VTuber debuts. Wait. So is it a re-debut? It doesn't matter. I'm just going to keep the plan the same. I don't know. Should I start out with... I just want to use the new model. I just want to use the new one. Why would I start out with the old one? I'm just going to use the old one. Or the new one. Not the old one. You guys are great words. Anyway. There we go. A re-debut. Well, I was just going to call the stream title 2.0. Finally 2D. Here's my... Wait. 2.0. Finally 2D debut. Yeah. Something like that. I'll workshop it. I'll bug my friends. they like me, so they have to help me. I'm spoiled. My friends spoil me. Sorry, my nose is itchy. Gotta blink. I think that's everything. Should I, like, I'm just gonna have to, like, study some of other people's, like, significant model debuts. Because some people like new outfit debut, but I'm like, this is a new model. I'm going from 3D to 2D. Is this the last time we're going away? Well, maybe I'll do that in a little, like, video transition thing. So I don't have to have the actual model, the software open. You can send me some as well. You see, I don't even have to ask. My friends are like, let me help you. Because they're amazing people and I love them. These are my friends. They're amazing. I'm so lucky. I love them so much. You guys are wonderful. You spoil me. I'm spoiled. That's why I'm a brat. Because I get spoiled. I get spoiled rotten. That's why I'm annoying, chat. Because my friends spoil me. You can thank them. Maybe I am getting sick. I refuse to be sick right now. Illegal. It is not allowed. I'm not allowed to be sick right now. It's absolutely not allowed. I was going to talk about something else, but I don't remember what it was. Ugh. Panic. I'm not gonna be sick. Don't worry. I'm just gonna blow my nose. Not sick. Totally allergies. Oh my god, I forgot about a secret I have for you guys. I have something planned and ready for when I'm a 2D that you guys don't know about. Foxy does, but the rest of you don't. She probably forgot though. I've showed her twice. She forgot the first time, and when I was showing her again, she's like, "Oh yeah." She's probably forgotten now that I mentioned it again. She was the brat when Sylvia. We're both brats. That's why we work so well together. Our brat energy just bounces off of each other and it intensifies. Yeah, that's what happens. Yep. Yep, 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 yep. Multi's already messaging me with the examples. I'll have to look at that later. Wouldn't you like a taste of the power? Wouldn't you like to use? No karaoke yet. Y'all don't get that until 2D. So I have been thinking about dabbling with original songs. For those of you who don't know or can't tell by the amount of lore I'm doing, literally a whole world. Anyway, I've always really liked writing, and a part of that was poems and like songs. And so I've been thinking they were really shit before because it was mostly middle school. But lately, I've been wanting to do some songwriting. So who knows if I'll come out with an original song one day? Probably. I'm gonna need some help though because I don't know music. I just know like I know I like singing, but I have a friend who play instrument and I'm gonna be like poke poke poke. Help me please. Something like that. Who knows? There's also that. There's also that. That'll be fun. That'll be great. It'll be fantastic. Let me see. I'm gonna look over my list of things. Thingy things. Wish I had money to spend. Yeah. I mean, I'm not taking singing lessons. I'm just like practicing based off the YouTube video that you sent me that one time. So it would be great if one day I could become like a bigger VTuber and like quit my job just to make content. Oh, that would be so much fun. And then like hire professionals to help me make music. That would be so much fun. So cool. And then wish I had confidence to talk to someone about lessons for anything. What do you mean confidence? The reason why you're getting lessons is because you're not good. And if you're trying to go into lessons and be like, oh, I'm not good enough, that's the fucking point you're getting the lessons for. Why? They don't expect you to know anything when you're getting lessons for it. They expect you to know nothing and go from there. That's literally the point of getting lessons. Introvert doesn't want to. I'm gonna fight you. Well, tall people can't be introverts. You're too big. People are gonna notice you regardless of if you want to or not. You're too tall. Walking through the door, people immediately notice tall people. That must really suck to be tall and an introvert. That must freaking suck. You just are so noticeable. I love being average height. I can just hide, blend into the background. Blend into the background of nothingness. You can't even go to the grocery store without at least one person, I'm guessing, asking you for help from the top shelf. And you're basically like, the social laws require you to help that person because you're tall. Like, while I worked at Walmart, I was only asked once from a customer. And as I was like getting the ladder, a tall person helped them. I'm average. Foxy's short. Get your facts straight. Get your facts straight. I bet Foxy climbs on the counter to get stuff off the top shelf in her cabinets because she's short. I don't do that. I'm a normal height. I can reach them without doing that. Yep. I'm a normal height. And then once I'm 2D, I'll be able to do the 2D collab thing so like easily, and Foxy will be able to see my model. Yay! Oh, it's gonna be so exciting. You have a stool? Foxy! You basically just confirmed you're short! Foxy, like, I don't climb on the counters. I have a stool. You're short! She just confirmed. She confirmed it. She just confirmed she's short. Normal people don't need stools. My God. Fox just she doesn't even know. She doesn't even know what she's doing. Poor Foxy. Poor Foxy. Oh, goodness. She's too cute for her own good. Adorable. We love Foxy. We love Foxy in this household. I was thinking about getting a Spotify player thingy like Blue has, but then I was just like, that's so much. I don't want to. Basically, I'm so close to becoming 2D and redoing all my overlays anyway that I don't want to add anything new. But at the same time, it's also quite far away. And so it's like it would probably be worth it just to like be looking into stuff and like making stuff better anyway. But like I'm just like, oh, I'm so close yet so far at the same time. 4-step stool. It's probably, yeah, you're right, Legend. It's probably a really big stool that Foxy has. So close yet so far. We will get there though, chat. We will get there. And then we will take over the internet. I mean, we'll have a lot of fun when we stream. My lore is slowly going to transition from I came here to study humans to I decided I wanted to take over the world. Don't mind me. Don't mind me, chat. Don't mind me. I never hurt you, except for Deltora. I never hurt you, chat. I'll go bully Deltora. Only Deltora. And Foxy, because she's short. Oh, and Kiwi, because he's the little child. I'm just going to keep adding people to the list of who I bully. Lovingly, of course. Gonna drink some water. Need some more water. I was gonna play a game today, but then my brain went, no! And I was like, ugh. When I need to stream, but it was like, no game. And I was like, ugh. But I need to stream. It was like, no game. And I was like, fuck you, brain. I'm just gonna chat. And it's like, you can't do that. That's illegal. I was like, then I pressed the start stream button. And I was like, I win. Victory is mine. I'm caffeinated. Anyways. I can't wait till I'm 2D. Seeing the art the other day, Gion doing art. I want to be 2D already. But I'm going to do this right. Technically, I could have become 2D a lot sooner. Like, I could have already been 2D. But then I wouldn't have given it the word. Thank you for the sip. Then I wouldn't have given it the proper not attention. If I had already become 2D, that it wouldn't have been. There's a word! What's the word? Word! I don't know what the word is. The word is just. Thank you for the blink. Word. It wouldn't have been. If I had become 2D, like, I could have been 2D, like, months ago if I wanted. But I told Blue that I wanted the other stuff for my 2D debut because I wanted to do it properly and I didn't want to. Word. I didn't want to. Word. What's. Word. Word? what's the word? Didn't want to, didn't, I didn't want to, not disgrace, that's not it. Didn't want to, didn't, didn't, didn't want to do it half-heartedly. I didn't want to do it half-heartedly. I wanted to make sure I did a proper 2D. I didn't want to jump the gun. Thank you, Multi. I didn't want to jump the gun just because I was so excited to be 2D. Thank God for Multi. Oh my God. I can't wait. Hi, Forrest. Where it's going great. It's going amazing. We totally weren't just sitting here for a full 2 minutes for me trying to remember a freaking word. Anyway, I didn't want to jump the gun. I wanted to give it the proper transition to 2D. To be like, this is a new stepping stone. It's going to be a new stepping stone in my VTubing career. Because when I first... Let me show you guys. A lot of y'all don't even know what I looked like when I first started streaming. Let me bring up an image for you. This is what I looked like when I first started streaming. Hang on. Whoa, shit, the image got really big really quick. Okay, I'm going to put it under my model. Okay. So this is what I looked like when I first started streaming. The hair is the same, but the antlers were really big and bulky, and they didn't really look like tree branches as much as I wanted them to. The dress, I had drawn it by hand. I was basically just like a completely free V-Roid model that I had put together myself. Oh my God. Yeah. So when I first started streaming, I did the bare minimum for paying for stuff. Like I had bought some like $5 overlay set. And basically it was like nice enough, but it was very cheap. Everything was very cheap. Everything was like good enough for. And Falsa is gonna go because they have a job. You have a good day. I hope it's uneventful and that work goes by quickly. So like my dress, I had drawn it myself. Unlike now, I bought this dress. I think on Booth was for design for. And so like as I've been streaming, I've put in like, oh, stream money to like make things look nicer, make it more yay, you know? And so when I transition to 2D, it's gonna be a big milestone for me as a streamer, because the 2D model is worth, oh my, it's expensive, and everything that I'm putting into it. So like custom model, custom overlays, custom panels, custom emotes. It's basically going from anyone could do this and anyone could look exactly like me and have the exact same stuff to this is Sylvia and she's put forth so effort and money and time to get to this point. Bam, bam, bam. And so I want to make sure I do it properly. But I'm also super excited and I want to do it like right now, but I don't have the stuff for it right now. And I want to do it right now. I'm so excited. It's going to be amazing. Sorry, there's a bug. I'm looking at a bug. It's really tiny though, but it's tiny. It's fine. Everything's fine. It's on the wall. It's fine. It just needs to stay the fuck away from me. I'm gonna do the 2D debut justice because it's a huge milestone for my VTubing career. And I'm so excited for it. It's gonna be awesome. It's gonna be amazing. There's only one, I'm gonna miss being able to change my clothes to whatever I want. Because like right now, I could just look up on Etsy, like V-Roid clothes, and then change my outfit. I could just wear whatever the fuck I want on this. Easy. outfit change, easy. But I won't be able to do that when I'm 2D. But that's fine because I'd much rather be 2D than have ease of outfit change, because there's going to be so many more things that are going to be easier with 2D because I'll be using VTube Studio. Fun fact, with being 3D, so my head pat redeem, it's not connected to my head, guys. It's literally just like a GIF that plays on the stream when that gets redeemed. But those who use VTube Studio, it's connected through their head. You can make it like spawn on their head no matter where they are on the screen. But if I move myself over here, the head pat is still gonna be over here, even though I'm over here. But once I'm in VTube Studio, it would just be attached to my EC. Yeah, see, watch. See? So once I am 2D, it'll follow me. I'm excited for it. And I'll be able to do the throwing redeem easier because I have to set that up the exact same way. Whereas in VTube Studio, it's connected to the model and aims for the model. But as 3D, you have to set it up to the spot your model is at right here. I have to set it up to aim at the spot. My model will still like blah, 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 but it still is. If I moved over here, I would be reacting to it, but it would be throwing over here. It's not on. You can't redeem it. It's off right now because I'm getting frustrated with it. So once I'm 2D, it's gonna be great. It's gonna be amazing. I already have redeems that I've like tested, and I'm like, once I'm 2D, I'm like frothing at the mouth, like I got 2D rabies or some shit like that because I want to be 2D so bad. I'll be 2D one day. I just need a little bit more. I'm almost there. I'm almost there. I'm gonna do it properly. It's gonna be a great, awesome thing. It's gonna be amazing. Not 2D rabies. I'm going to be getting some new head pats that look so cool. So it's going to be like, there's this person I found. There's this artist I found who does a bunch of like VTuber hand assets. And, okay, it's getting really hot in my office. So just one quick second while I open up the door to my office because my computer is acting like a fucking heater and just making the entire room hot. And I'm literally dying in here, so I just gotta open up the door so I stop fucking dying. Okay. Let me just reset the tracking because I left the camera, so it went, where is she? Where is she? That's what the camera does. So I found this, I was just kind of looking on like, because I had seen it before, but I couldn't remember where I'd seen it, where it was like a variety of hand stuff. So it was like a head pat, but it was also like a finger poke, so y'all will be able to poke my face, and a couple of other things. It was a variety of things. Thank goodness I was able to actually find it. And I'm really excited to get those because like I wanted to have like more interactive redeems, but it's just annoying and hard to set up with. So my Deer Dance redeem, the reason it's on my head is because it uses the same program for my freaking head pat redeem. So it has to be on my head or the hand pat won't be on my head. So once I'm 2D, I'm going to be able to do so much. But since it's the same artist, she's going to have the same like art style for the hand. And the hand will be chat's hand. And y'all will be able to basically smack me. Is that actually one of them? Let me see if that's actually one of them, if you can smack me. Mute. Let me just quickly look through. Is this a smack or just a spray bottle? That'll be, y'all were like that. No, that's a pinch, not a smack. Very exciting though. It's gonna be fun. And then there are other stuff that I'm not telling you about because it's a secret. You're heading home early! Awesome. That's super exciting. That's amazing. Going home early is the best. I got to go home a couple minutes early today. I mean, it was 2 minutes, but 2 minutes is 2 minutes, right? Right? Sorry, my nose is so itchy for no reason. I'm gonna have to be looking at my friends' streams because they're so talented, they're so amazing. I'd be like, what makes their streams good besides them being themselves? Because like all my friends are amazing. Like Foxy, she literally has a DVD background behind her and she just chats most of the time, like before streams. I'm like, she's popping off just because she is so fucking hilarious and her personality is amazing. And I'm just like, she just shows up and people are like, Foxy. And I'm like, I get it. I get it, bro. That's why she's my platonic wife. But then also you look at these big streamers and you're like, wow, that redeem's so cool. I want to do something like that. I want to do something like that. You know, take inspiration from. Yeah. So like I like the head pat. I like the idea about chat being able to poke. It's all the DVD screen. I mean, watching that thing bounce around, go boo, boo. And then it like almost hits the corner, but then your tail blocks it so they don't know if it actually hit the corner. I love it. Just drive. Do not text and drive multi. Make it home to unload boxes, then to other home, then to dentist, then friend's house, and then home, and then other home. That's crazy. I would die. You fixed it so it's no longer byte frame. I don't know what byte frame is. Do you mean bit frame? I also don't know what that is because I'm just a deer. I'm just a deer. I'm just a tree spirit who has the mentality of a deer, so I'm a deer girl. Bit frame. Yeah, I still don't know what that is. I'm just a deer. I'm so excited to be 2D. If there's anything that you guys are like, oh, it would be so cool if you had this, I do have a suggestion channel in the Discord, or you can just say in the chat right now. I'll make a note of it. Does not guarantee I'm going to do it, but I would love to know what you guys like to see. So, like, the little spin wheel loading brain thing, the like, spin. I like that. I like it when I see that on people's streams. I'm going to see if I can find a nice one. I'm sure that there are, like, $2 ones I could get on Etsy or something that's like, it's made for VTube Studio. So, it'll be easy. But obviously, nothing that would be like copying, that would be like, can't copy like signature things from other VTubers. Just generic things like the loading wheel. I love how I'm like, yay, happy, energetic, and then the music is like, it's all dramatic. The music's all dramatic. Could you ever think of Nari deer? Who's that? Or Nara deer? I don't know who that is. Am I saying that right? I read it as Nari at first, but that's clearly an A. That's clearly Nara. I don't know who. I'm gonna look them up. Oh, not a VTuber. Oh my god. Say you're chronically online without saying you're chronically online. You're talking about actual deer. And here I am like, what VTuber is that? No, legit deer. You're talking about legit IRL deer. I should make them deer cookies. Oh my god. Oh my god, Forest. I'm writing that down. Hang on. I closed it. I need to reopen my notes. I'm writing that down. What are those deer cookies? Nara deer cookies. Okay, so they're literally called that. So I'm gonna write that down somewhere. Nara deer cookies instead of chocolate chip cookies. I'll see if I can find like a nice art for that. I want it to be anime style instead of realistic style, so it is cohesive with everything. I'm writing that down. I wrote that down. I'm taking that idea. Thank you, Forrest. That's a great idea. That's genius. I legit thought that Nara was like happy to for a second. I was like, oh no, did I copy someone? I'm like, it's cookies. You can't like reserve the right for cookies. That would be like if I claimed like no one else can have a Flippy because I have a Flip. That's just stupid. That's just stupid, okay? That's a great idea. I love it. And I know that Flippy is not what it's called, but I can't say the word of what it's actually called, and that's why I call it a Flippy. Okay, guys? You know. Now you know. Y'all know I can't say words. I just straight up forgot a word earlier. Come on. I'm just a deer. Words are hard, and I'm a VTuber, so like I don't know how to read. I don't know what I'm doing. I just exist. I'm just looking at like my old notes. Oh, my first subathon. Oh my god, this image is so busy. I would do this so different now. Okay, if I still don't have enough money by the time that it gets to my birthday, I'll do a donathon. That's what I'll do to try to get me get me over the edge for the emotes. Hopefully, I should have now I don't want to jinx it. I'm hoping that I'll have enough money before my birthday to get the emotes, but who knows? Every stream is a scuff, that makes it special. My brain is the scuff. Like, literally, almost, I never really have technology problems when I'm streaming. It's just my brain. It's like, word, hello, word. My brain is the scuff. My brain is the scuff, chat. Oh my goodness. I am the scuff. Ugh. I'm the scuff. Oh well. I'm just doing my best. I'm just the little guy doing their best. Whee. I'm so excited to be 2D. I have so many things planned. I can't even tell you guys everything, but like I want to tell you guys, but I can't tell you guys because it's a secret. Shh. Secret. Y'all, I'll probably get a new mouse. I'll probably get a new mouse when I do my 2D debut because it's so. That's my mouse, chat. It's a side. That's my mouse. Yep. Y'all can literally hear if I'm like looking at stuff because it's squeaky. I have to be intentional when using my mouse to make it not squeak. I have to be intentional with the scroll wheel, and even then, it still sometimes squeaks. And I'm just like, okay, we're doing our best. We're doing our best. Bongo tap. I think I'm gonna have an emote. Let me look at my emote list. That is Sylvia Bongo. Yep, I got a Sylvia Bongo in the animated emotes list. I literally have it organized so like this emote goes in this spot. So I got my free emotes planned out, the standard emotes, the animated. I mean, the free emotes, it's like it's easy enough, but like the tier emotes, those ones were hard because I'm like, I just want to give everyone the emotes. I want to give everyone all the emotes, but like I am gonna, I'm not just gonna leave a slot empty. They give me a slot. But, like, I never expected. Basically, the tier 2 and tier 3 emotes are just me emotes because no one should ever do that. No one should ever do the tier emotes. Like, I don't even know what the point of that is. Maybe one day when I have a Patreon And I can have separate bonus rewards for tiers, but I don't right now. So, one day, far in the future. Uh-oh. That's the last of my caffeine drink. That's not good. I'm very excited for being 2D. It's gonna be amazing. It's gonna be awesome. And there's so much stuff I get to show you guys. I've already tested a lot of stuff. All the things that I've tested are the surprise stuff that I can't tell you about. But I'm like, it works. I'm so excited. It works, and I don't do technology that well. And Foxy, guys, is Deltora still here? Deltora! Oh, perfect timing. Perfect timing, Deltora. Oh my goodness, hang on, Deltora. You have to pause. You have to wait. You have to wait, Deltora. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for the sub. Thank you so much. Thank you. Acty. That Acty. Thank you so much. I hope you enjoyed the emotes. Deltora, shout out Foxy. That's what I was gonna say. But I really appreciate the sub. That makes us even closer to our goal because all my stream money to the emotes. All the stream money to the emotes. That's where they're going. To the emotes. Hang on, I need to pause the music. This is important that we hear her clip. Where's the clip? Where's the clip? Where's the clip? Did you break it, Deltora? Did you type her name wrong?
Come
no, there it is.
apparatus.
You want to grab
I got
it?
the apparatus, look. Grab it.
Yeah, grab it.
Woo!
Woo! Let's go!
Bring it out.
Wait.
Bring pressure.
I don't know.
Oh, right here.
Oh, did I miss it?
You got so lucky, girl.
I don't know which way to go.
So lucky.
Oh,
It's a clip with
gift
me.
box. Oh my gosh, I want to see.
You guys a clip with me back in the lethal days. Do you remember that when we first became friends? That's wild. Okay, so anyway, Foxy, and also there's that Acty. Hi. I hope I'm not like lagging. Like, right? Let me just. Okay, no, it looks good. There's a little bit of desync, but there's not too much. Chat, say orange. Anyway, Foxy helped me set up Sprout, so now when I do become 2D, it's better. Okay, perfect. There's barely any desync. I'm just overthinking. Oh my goodness, there was one time when I was house sitting for my dad in Hawaii. We had a 40-minute desync, and I didn't realize. Oh no, that was painful. Anyway, so now I get paranoid about my desync. I'm traumatized. Yes, it was 40 fucking minutes. Deltora was there. I didn't even realize. Because like I was scheduling outside, I was streaming outside my normal time because I was in a different time zone, and I was also like, oh, this is normal. People aren't as active because it's not my normal time. Not as many people are here. And then I think it was Deltora who said something. I was like, what are you talking about? I was so confused. And then they said something as if they were replying to me. And I was like, I didn't even say that remotely soon. And then I looked at my stream 40 minutes behind. And I was like, ah! It was so bad. So bad. We found out it was my dad's computer that like after it was on for 2 hours, it would just go to shit. It didn't matter if I had started streaming. I would have to turn off the computer and then turn it back on, start streaming. I had 2 hours, and if I wanted to keep streaming after those 2 hours, I had to stop stream, turn the computer off, turn it back on, and then restart stream. Anyway, my computer is so good. She's amazing. I love her. She doesn't do that to me. Even though she's 8 years old, she's still amazing and she still works. Yeah, you watched me reacting to myself live. I guess. Well, actually, you didn't get to see me react to me because I ended the stream. You got the founder's badge? Yeah, I cleared my I clear my founders badges. I'm like, who the fuck is this? I want it to be in people who chat because I want to see the badges. So whenever I see that someone who doesn't chat gets it, I remove it because they're never gonna know. First of all, they're never gonna know. Second of all, I want to see it. I want to see it in chat. It makes me happy. So I actually think there's one slot open for it, which is hilarious. I think there's still a slot open for it. Because every once in a while, I just look at it and I'm like, delete. You don't chat. If you don't want me to delete it from your name and you're a non-chatter, I can't delete it from people who are actively subscribed. I can only delete it from people who are not actively subscribed. So, there's that. You got one. Yeah, you got one. So, because, like, what's the point of, like, the first badges if you don't get to see them? Because, like, of course I appreciate the lurkers who sub, but, like, I want to see those badges. It makes me all happy. Like, you went the first. Even though it's been, like, I probably shouldn't delete them anymore because it's been, like, 3 years since I've streamed. Anyway. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. It's my stream. I can do whatever the fuck I want. I can do whatever I want. I make the rules. I make the rules. Ugh. I like being in charge. I spent too much of my life at the mercy of other people in charge. Much better now. Much better now that I'm an adult. People will always be like, oh, enjoy your time now when you're in school. Fuck the time I was in school. I'm happy now. I'm happy as an adult. I'm happy even though bills are annoying. I'm still, like, the stress level that I have now in comparison to when I was a child. What the fuck? I should be more stressed now than then because then I didn't have bills. Why am I less stressed now? But it's okay because, like, now I can vibe with friends. Less stress, less depression, less anxiety. We winning out here. Also, chat's awesome. Love y'all, chat. Stop giving them out so you can have the last. I think there's one more. I think I had 2 open slots, and I think you got one of them. Let me check. Subscriptions. I'm gonna have to look at it. What? Whore. Let me look at my legs. He was looking at my hooves. And yes, I called him a whore. He's my friend. I met him in real life. I can call him that. Rolls? Do I have to look at rolls? No, it's not. No. Well, no. Where the... Engagement? No. Legendary. I never know where to go to find my founders. No, I did not. Oh, found it. Yeah, there's still a slot available. There's one slot available. I don't know who that is. There's actually one person who I don't know who it is right now who has one. But they're currently subscribed, so it's theirs since they're subscribed. Yeah, but there's one more slot available. If someone wants it. I was in the Cyclops. Oh, I fucking love Epic the Musical. You're back, Forrest. Welcome back. So, yeah, I got one more first slot because I delete people who I don't know. If I don't know who they are, I'm like, well, gone. Even though I've been streaming for 3 years. Sorry, don't you dare apologize for taking care of your own stuff. You are good, and you're taking care of you. You are amazing. You showed up. You dropped by. I don't care that you're late. You're here. You're here. I appreciate that. Anyway, I'm just a little weird guy, and I like to see the first badges, so I delete it from people who I don't know. And there's one more open. And I don't know who's gonna get it. I actually thought, because it doesn't count for gift subs. So if you gift a sub to someone, they don't get the first patch. It's only if you sub directly, which is hilarious. Because I know people have, like, gifted my friends subs. And a lot of my friends only do gift subs. I only do gift subs. If I get a... I don't... I'm trying to save money for my emotes, chat. So I don't subscribe to people. I get gift subs. And that's how that works. I mean, it makes sense that that's how it works. I think. I don't know. I'm just a deer. I'm just a deer. I'm just a deer. Little deer. I'm just a deer. Little deer. You know? You know? Let's see. I'm looking at my notes, my streamer notes, to see if there's something to talk about. Oh, here's my merch. My merch list idea. When I can afford that. Merch idea, Sylvia plushie. That's reversible into a dark Sylvia plushie. Like one of those octopus things. That's literally something I have. That's literally something I've written down as merch. I would buy that. Well, to be fair, if it's something that I wouldn't buy, I'm not gonna make it. I'm gonna have to do something with Inhibibit. I have to do that. That's so iconic. What do I talk about? I do horror games in October. Let's see. Wait. Was I planning a 24-hour stream? Why do I have dates on here? What? Yeah, I'm just gonna get rid of the dates, and I'll just keep the notes for when I do eventually do a 24-hour stream. It just had like 25th and 26th, and I was like, I don't remember writing that. Thank you for the head pats. I really appreciate it. Ooh, anime convention. That sounds awesome. Sorry, I was reading my notes, and I'm just like, what am I talking about? What am I doing? Thank you for the head pats. I appreciate you so much, dear. Yeah. And it's like, it literally, oh, stretch and a posture check. Thank you. Oh, pop my back. That felt good. It literally has notes of like, this is how you need to sleep before you attempt this. And you need to have Foxy with you. It literally has notes on how to take care of myself. And then it has like, this is what you're doing during it. And I'm like, huh? I don't remember writing that. I must have been like zooming one day. You know how like dogs get zoomies? People with ADHD get zoomies. Yep. I don't know how else to describe it besides that. I have ADHD. I can say this. I can say that. Because I am an ADHDer. I'm autistic ADHD, actually. Double whammy. It's a really interesting combination, but it is what it is. Y'all like me for it. I'm excited to be 2D. One of the emotes I'm most excited for, pop emote. I can't even do it with my model. We do? I don't know what you're referring to, Delta. I've already forgotten what I've said. ADHD, whoop, thought gone. Huh? What happened? You don't know. Yeah, I was planning a 24-hour stream, and I literally had dates, but it didn't tell me the month, so it literally just said 25th and 26th. I was like, 25th and 26th of what? I must have been planning it for, like, soonish, but then it must have fallen through for some reason. No wonder. I literally don't even know what Deltor was referring to. I'm assuming he was trying to insult me, but it didn't work. It didn't work because my brain went, whoop, that gone. Oh, it gone. Whatever you said, it gone. Deltor can't even bully me. I don't remember what I said. I don't remember what I said 5 fucking seconds ago. I'm just a streamer. Just a streamer with ADHD. Just vibing. We got this. We just vibing. Yeah. I love this song. This is one of my favorite songs. I can't wait to do karaoke. Foxy's helped me a lot with getting, first of all, being better at singing, but having the confidence to sing in front of people. Ask me what 8 plus 4 is, and I said 13. Honey, no, it's 12. Oh, darling, that's like 9 plus 10, 21. No. Math hard. Math is hard. Math is hard. I don't like math or science. And, like, I want to get an English degree because I like writing. So I want to be, like, I want to learn about English, history, and a little bit of geographical stuff for world building. But they're like, take a math class, take a science class because fuck you! I'm like, I'm paying you. Let me take the classes I want that are only related to the degree that I'm taking. Anyway. You had Dear Sing and was good. Well, that was karaoke. People were drunk. So how do you know I was good? Was I good or were you drunk? Who knows? Who knows? But also I was with friends and vibing and I didn't care. Didn't care. I was also slightly intoxicated because it was a karaoke bar. You didn't get drunk? I don't believe you. Wait, did I get intoxicated or was I DD? We've gone to karaoke so many times, I can't remember what time you're talking about. Anywho's. I've been getting better at having the confidence to sing in front of other people. So, you know, just casually undoing some trauma about being told that I sound like a dying cat when I sing. Anywho's. I got good friends now, good peoples around me, and everything's good. This song is such a bop. I like the beat. The lyrics, but it's bop. Got girlfriends, and I'm in a good spot. And I feel like I got pretty lucky. So I went through all the shit that I needed to go through to be like, oh, well, hello there. Ah! Okay, I'm just gonna, oh, I got hit so hard I got turned around. Let's try that again. Why, hello there, life. No, but now it's beating me up. The world is beating me up. Ah! But that happened to me when I was younger. And so now that I'm adult, I'm like, I've already been beaten up. I know how to deal with it. And now I'm a person who's vibing and can recognize red flags and make good relationship decisions. The video clip and not drunk much. Oh, damn. Illegal. It's not real. I'm not animating that, so it's obviously not real. Tail held up, go back, redeem it. Redeem it. I didn't mean to turn around. I just got slapped by life so hard in that analogy that I got spun around. I can also go the other way. I can go, ooh, woo. I did a flip. Oh, I'm gonna miss, well, I never do it anyway, but I'm gonna miss having the ability to do that. Because I won't be able to do that once I'm 2D, but it's fine. Because we'll still get tail. So when I move like this, the tail will pop out on, so like, okay, so my head will go this way, and the tail will pop out on this side, and then my head will go this way, and the tail will pop out on this side, and you'll be able to see it just a teeny little bit, so you'll have to pay attention. Tail, 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 tail. He's got a tail. Whoa. Whoa. Oh. Anyway. I'm excited. It's gonna make doing so many things just so much easier. We'll boop the tail. Illegal. You're not allowed to touch the tail. Not allowed to touch the tail. Illegal. I kind of hope 3D models like become more popular so they get a better software for it that's more friendly with like redeems and streaming, because I do like being 3D. And so if that happened, I would probably want to go back to being 3D. But I do like 2D and the 2D art. It's very pretty. I think I'm just like emotionally attached to being 3D since I've been 3D for literal years. So it's a little bit bittersweet to become 2D. But I am very excited for it. Very excited. It's going to be awesome. Let's see. So I talked about work. Talked about 2D plans, how close we are, what I'm gonna be doing for that stream. If I had to guess, 3D might improve when VR improves. Maybe, because I know that there's a way to take me and put it into like VR chat. I don't know how to do that, but that would be fun. More people, yeah, I feel like as VR improves, 3D will become more popular. And there's been, I'm not going to say any names because I don't like mentioning the names of other streamers while I'm streaming. But there's been, and you'll know who this is if you know anything about VTubing community. But there's been a popular indie VTuber who has gone 3D. And I'm like, when I saw the model, I was like, whoa. It was really cool. So I'm hoping that as like bigger VTubers get 3D models. There's actually been 2 of them now that I think about it. But one of them really had me go, wow, pretty. The other one was a dude. I don't really give a fuck about the dudes. I like women. They're so pretty. People wouldn't believe that I also like men based on how I talk about them. But I'm just like, women are pretty. People would never believe that I also like guys based on how I talk about women and guys. They're like, yeah, she's obviously a lesbian. Nah, I also like dudes. I just bully them. You see, the thing is, I'm such a fucking bottom when it comes to women, but I'm such a top when it comes to men. I'm like, there is no way in hell I'm letting a man tell me what to do. But if a woman told me to kneel, I'd be like, yes, mommy. And that's why I'm a switch. And it has completely everything to do with how you are presenting. I wish we got more of, like, the other gods in Epic the Musical. I hope he does more, like, Greek mythology stuff. That would be so much fun. I mean, you're shutting up? You better shut up. Mm-hmm. That's right, Del Toro. You be quiet, you man. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. I'm only bullying him aggressively because he's my friend. I can bully my friends. But I'm just like, I like, women are so pretty. Wait, how do we even get talking about this? We were talking about 3D models. Anyway, eventually 3D models will become more popular and I'll probably go back to being a 3D because it'll always have a spot in my heart, I think. Even when I'm 2D, I'll be like, start that 3D because it was something I could do with the non-bank account that I had. The non-money I had. I think when I first started VTubing, the model itself was basically free. Because I did get the hair textures that I wanted. But that was like $5 for like a big ass pack. And then I slapped together a couple, the pink textures, the white texture, and the brown texture to have the ombre I wanted. I slapped those together myself. And then I did the dress originally myself. VRoid, the application's free. The application to run the model was free. I think I spent $10 on the overlays. So that was like $15 total to get started. Yeah, that's not bad. That's not bad at all. Because the overlays also came with Twitch panels. But now here we are later. I'm like, I need $1,000 for emotes, chat. I'm saving up my part. And then we got crazy people out here like, boom, $50. I was like, what? Boom. And I was like, what? Which is fucking wild to me. Like, I was expecting, like, not that. Spent too much on a new PCs are worth it, though. Like, my next personal goal, I don't think I'll make it a goal for chat because it's too much. It's too much. For a PC, I'll be wanting to save up around 3 to 4K for a new PC. But I still gotta, pay my bills, put some aside for savings, eat. So I will eventually want a new PC so I can play cool games for y'all. And for myself. Yeah. It's gonna be awesome! Gonna have so much. Oh, I don't like this song. I'm sorry. Like, I like it, but I don't like it. It's really gaslighty. Anyway, it's a good song, but I don't want to listen to it right now. Not in the mood. Skip. Wow. Dog emote. Skipped. Yeah, I haven't skipped a single song until we got that. I'm not sorry for love. That's so. Her entire song is so fucking. What sound was it? What sound was what? What did I say? It's the. I skipped. Let me look at it. I skipped Not Sorry for Loving You because it's really gaslighty. I don't know. I didn't feel like it. I didn't feel like listening to Gaslight right now. Like, it's a bop and all that. I just don't want the lyrics at the moment. Just not in the mood for it. We're just gonna vibe. Not the song that you've been practicing for Carrie. No. I don't like it because it's gaslighty. Like, I like it, but I don't like it. It's a love-hate relationship I have with that song. The singer, though. The singer for Calypso is... Oh my god, her voice. So good. But it's a very gaslighting song. If you look at the lyrics and, like, read them out instead of, like, listening to the song because her voice. But if you, like, look at the lyrics. Anyway. We're also going to be skipping one other song. Because I don't want to make people uncomfy. Because even though the song is, like. The lyrics are, like. For those of you who know Epic the Musical, anyway, we will be skipping that song. It's coming up. Fever You Can't Sweat Out. I don't know what that is. I don't know what you're referencing. Is it something I could understand through a chat message, or is it something that I have to experience? I want to play more games, but I don't know what games to play. Sorry, we're hopping from one thing to the next. ADHD, wee! Like, I've been wanting to play Code Vein on stream so bad, but then there's that little part of my brain that's like, your computer can barely handle it with your model. But I'm like, I could be a PNG, but I don't want to be a PNG because I want to be able to see my reactions if something gets clipped and it's clip-worthy. Panic attack. Okay, I'll have to keep that in mind. I'm not super great at remembering all the song names of songs that I've listened to. I've gotten better at it over the years, but like I heavily listened to Panic at the Disco early middle school, and it was only by the time I was mid to late high school that I bothered to start remembering the names of songs that I liked. I didn't even read that it was wrong. You said Panic Attack at the Disco. I didn't even realize it wasn't Panic at the Disco. That's hilarious. Oh my god. I didn't even realize it was wrong. My brain autocorrected. Kill Shot? No. I don't recognize it, so no. Probably, but no. Oh, bring it on. Fucking love Odysseus. Oh, when I do the Epic the Musical karaoke, okay, I'm not sure if I'll sing Not Sorry for Loving for You. It's a possibility that I could, but I'm definitely skipping Hold Them Down like I am now because I'm not making people uncomfy. We're skipping it. We are skipping that one. Can we keep this as a safe place, safe place? Wow, I could have never imagined I would still be streaming. You know, when I first started streaming, I was like, I don't know if I like it. And then my first stream, 12 hours. And I was like, I want to keep streaming. But then, like, my friends were like, you're going to burn yourself out. And so I stopped stream at 12 hours because I didn't want to burn myself out. And I proceeded to keep continuously, because at the time I didn't have a job, 8-hour streams every day. I wish I could just stream every day like I used to. 8 hours every day. I think I only didn't stream like 1 day a week. And it wasn't because I didn't want to stream. It was because I was like, I have to take 1 day a week off or else I'm going to accidentally burn myself out. But on those days off, I'd be like, man, I really want to stream right now, but I'm not allowed to for my stupid mental health just in case. That was literally how it was. And then someone was like, you're streaming way too much. And so I was like, okay, fine, I'll take 2 days off, but no more than that. And that was literally what it was like when I first started streaming. It was insane. I want to go back to that so bad. I want to be back there. Is the music loud? No, I'm still louder than the music. That's the dream, to get back to streaming 8 hours every day. If only. If only I could be solely a content creator, that'd be amazing. Oh, people be out here living my dream, and I'm just like, I don't know how to get there. I'm gonna just do my best. If only I was independently wealthy, so I didn't really have to worry about, like, being tiny, because I do like being tiny. I like the chat messages not going, like, because, like, I don't like watching huge streamers, because their chat goes way too fast, and it makes me go, huh. I like being tiny. What the right amount of time is, it's whatever you feel comfortable with. Because, like, at this point in time, I'm streaming about 2-3 hours, and it's just what's right for me right now. Like, I would love to be able to get back to where, like, I'm not getting up early, I'm just streaming, and, like, that's my job. And, like, oh, such a vibe. So much fun. It was amazing. Just a vibe. It was such a good vibe. The right amount of time is whatever you want to do. I feel like 4 hours is usually what you want to aim for. But I've gotten to the point where I'm like, I'm just going to stream for what I can, because, like, I haven't changed my available hours yet, because I keep, like, teeter-tottering on, leave it so I can open, so I can make my later available time not as late, so it could be, like, 4:30 to noon, or, because I still need enough hours to pay my bills, or have my available time set from 6 to, like, 2. Because right now, they're set until 4 p.m. But today I got off at 3. I hated that shit. The idea of getting off at 2, I hate that shit. But let's see. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. If I was scheduled at 6, it's a 7-hour shift from 6 to 12. I guess I do usually get scheduled 7 to 7.5 hour shifts. But if they don't need me during that time, I'm not going to get scheduled. And I'm usually, like, the last 2 weeks, I just straight up was an opener. So 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So from open to 12 is 8 hours. Roughly. I'm almost never scheduled for a full 8 hours, though. Foxy's just different. Don't look at Foxy as an example for streams. Foxy's not normal. Anyway, I've been going back and forth and back and forth and back and forth, and I'm like, having my availability set for open guarantees that I can get off early. If I don't want to open, I would have to have my availability open to 2 p.m. at the, like, seriously, to make sure that I'm able to pay my bills. One or the other. Bills are important. Sometimes I'm just like, why am I not independently wealthy? Can a really obscure relative who I don't know just die and leave me enough money? Like, I don't need anything lavish. Just leave me enough money to pay my bills without working so I can stream. And it's not like I'm not doing anything, because we will get fucking bored if I've already done this. So when my first job ever, I quit the job and I was gonna go move and live with my dad, and I lived with him for a little bit. But I had like a 3-month span of where I was not working until the move day. I got ready packed within like a week, except for my computer, because I needed my computer. Duh. And I got so fucking bored. I was just scrolling on TikTok one day and I was like, an anime person? But they're not acting like an anime person? VTuber? What's a VTuber? Behold, butterfly effect. Sylvia quit her job and became a fucking VTuber, even though she didn't know what it was at the time. Anyway. So I would still be doing stuff. I would still be contributing to society. Sure, some people might say, Catholics not contributing to society. No, 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 no. We are going into a really bad part in the economy. Like, it's about to happen. Shit's gonna hit the fan. You want to know what goes up when shit hits the fan? Entertainment. People need to be distracted from shit. People need distractions when life goes. So entertainment shit goes up. If you say, like, oh, entertainment industry not important, it is important. It might be fun to do. Well, at least I think it's fun. But it's still important. People be like, oh, it's not important as a doctor. They're important in different ways. Doctors save life when you're sick. Well, like, if there was no entertainment, no TVs, no fiction books, no nothing like that, and we just had to, like, go throughout our day and, like, only do stuff that was contributing for society, if we only do stuff that's contributing to society, no coffee, no games, no video games, no any of that shit. Everyone would be depressed. The life expectancy would probably be 30 to 40. Because of, yeah. Anyway, it's important, just in a different way. It is what it is. I wish we lived in a world where I didn't have to stress about bills. If everyone didn't have to stress about bills and just had a roof over their head and food guaranteed, people would still work. They would just do the jobs they wanted to do. When I worked at Walmart, there were people who actually wanted to work at Walmart. Is that for me? No. But shit would get done. But people would be doing what they wanted to do. But that's not going to happen in my lifetime. So I just got to work to pay the bills and cry about it. And be a VTuber in my spare time. Yay!
VTubing!
Anywho's, people are not lazy by inherent. We're lazy because we're overworked. Who's this dude? I love this song. This is one of my favorite songs. It's great. It's a great song. I think I've run out of things to talk about for today, though. I'll have to play a game next stream. That way I can get more shit to talk about. Back! Welcome back. I missed you. Ads are evil. They're evil. Long story short, people aren't lazy. We're just overworked, so that's why we don't want to do anything when we do have free time, because we're all stressed and depressed. No, don't. No. But I don't have anything to talk about. And I don't want to just sit here silently and, like, be boring. I'd much rather raid a friend. I don't really want to play a game right now. I want to... Well, click. Have a full list if I had free time. Exactly. If everyone just had a roof over their head and food guaranteed, food and basic clothes guaranteed. Do you know how much shit would get done? So much shit would get done, it would make your head spin. People just don't realize it. They're like, oh, people are lazy. The people who wanted to study medicine would study medicine, and just like people who wanted to do education would do education. And it would just go, we would soar into new heights if we didn't have to deal with this shit. But we got bills. And so we got to do what we got to do. You want to know what I would be doing if I didn't have to worry about my bills? Right now? Let's see. I would have started stream at 9. And I would have streamed for 8 hours. 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Wait. 9, 10, 11, 12, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, I would have ended about half an hour ago. But I would have streamed for 8 hours, and you want to know what I would have done after that? I would have been downloading my VOD, uploading it to YouTube, and I would have been working on writing a song right now, making more content, being productive, adding to the art culture, society, and all that stuff. Today, I was like, ooh, I want to write a song. I wanted to play around with songs. So like, well, if I have all this energy, I should stream because I haven't been able to stream in a while because of my job. What? Do you know how much shit I would do creatively? I didn't have to work a standard job. There are people who actually like working at. I'm not saying I dislike my job, but it's like it's not what I want to be doing. It's a good job and I enjoy it enough that I don't hate myself going to work in the morning. I hated myself going to work in the morning when I was working at Walmart. But like there are jobs for literally everyone. Like society would not crumble if we didn't have bills to pay. But it's never gonna happen. Cry. So many yes role plays. I actually started turning one of my role plays into a book, but then the person ghosted me, and so now the role play is just incomplete. Tragic. Oh well. Wait. That's better. Oh, actually, I'm going to skip this one too because it says the word. Yeah, you don't like the job, but you manage. Mine's good. I feel supported at my work at least because everyone's got like a team, like we support each other thing. You know? You see, there are people who love their jobs, and I'm so glad that you have that for you. That's amazing. My dream job. Do you know how many things I would try if I didn't have to worry about bills? I would try so many different jobs. I would try so many different things. Still be a VTuber probably because I love it. It's where I want to be. I want to be here. I want to be live, but I've done the math. And it's always come to the same number every single time. No matter how many times I've done the math. Every time I do the math for it, I just hope that it's going to be lower. But if anything, it's only going to get higher because rent increases every fucking year. But I've done the math. I need $2,000 every month. And that's for bills and food and then like $100 in saving. That's like, it's not even like fun. It's like $50 of fun spending money. It's not even crazy. I need $2,000 every month to live for all my bills and to feed myself. And I get what? 150, but 100 has to go into savings in case some shit happens. And then I can't just not have money for myself because the time I did do that, my depression came like it flared up pretty bad, and oh my god, that was so bad. You have to treat yourself, otherwise you will just go insane. You will go insane. If you don't give yourself serotonin, you will go insane. I'll get there. It's really not that much, but it's really just so much. It's crazy. That's just life, though. I do everything possible not to take a day off. Yeah, that was me when I was just streaming. It was so nice. That was so great. What a time that was to be alive. That was great. Oh my god. But, like, there were other things that I was sacrificing in order to not have bills. Things are better now in different ways. But, yeah, it is what it is. I'll figure stuff out eventually. Maybe get to a better spot where I can stream longer, work, quote unquote, less. Trade off, yeah, trade off. I just, okay. Shook it off. We're good. We're good. We're good. We're good. We're good. I should find someone to raid. Who's steamy? Who's steamy? Who's steamy? Joker's streaming, but maybe we want to find someone new. Because I don't know what South of Midnight is. Maybe we want to make a new friend. Playing a game that we do know. What do you guys want to watch? Do you guys want to watch Minecraft? You guys want to watch someone play Minecraft? Let's watch someone play Minecraft. Whoa. Sorry, I always forget that Twitch is like, it recommends the people who are huge first. And that's scary, because I'm just a little guy. I'm just like, I'm not rating someone with 1K viewers. Absolutely fucking not. I'm just a little deer. I'm just a little guy. Oh, wait, I forgot to type in the VTuber tag. I'm like, why am I seeing people? VTuber. Duh. Oh, and let's also do the English. Okay, perfect. One time I rated someone and I didn't realize they didn't speak English because I was like, they have a cute model. I'll rate them. And then I was like, I don't know what they're saying. And I felt so awkward because I wanted to talk to them, but I was like, I should have paid more attention to who I was rating. But I was too excited. I was too excited to make a new friend. And it didn't work out. It did not work out how I intended it to. It is what it is. I judge like, at first I look at the viewers and then I look at their model. I'm like, I should be looking at the viewers, look at the title, see if it's in English, and then look at their model. You have foodage? What type of food do you have? What are you eating? Tell us. Or else. Finding new people is scary. You know what? Maybe I'll just raid a friend. Finding new people is scary! Oh, I fucking love shepherd's pie! The shepherd's pie that I usually have is made with sweet potatoes because I fucking love sweet potatoes. So the first time I had shepherd's pie, that was not at home because my mom always made it with sweet potatoes. And they're like, it's shepherd's pie. I'm like, no, it's not. It's not orange. It's not orange. That's not shepherd's pie. And also it didn't taste right because my mom always made it with lamb instead of turkey. Because like a traditional one's made with turkey, apparently, I think, and normal potatoes. And I was used to sweet potato shepherd's pie with lamb. Sweet potato casserole? I have not, but that sounds good. That sounds good. That sounds lit. Okay, yeah, we're just gonna raid Joker. Because they're awesome, and I'm scared of new people. Even though I don't know what they're playing. I was just gonna raid someone else to be like a familiar game. I don't know if we're gonna like this game, but y'all will like Joker, so it's fine. It'll be fine. Y'all will like Joker, and so it will work out. Ooh, pecans. Marshmallows. Marshmallows? Probably not marshmallows. Anyway, we're gonna rate out because, well, I'm out of things to talk about, and we're at the end of the epics. Oops, I can't spell. I can't spell. I'm just a deer. I'm just a deer who's doing her best. Thank you guys so much for coming to the stream today. Maybe you lurked, maybe you chatted, maybe you did both. Because you're a silly gooey goober. Yes, you are. Either way, thank you guys so much for coming to the stream today. Make sure you copy one of those rate messages. Oh my gosh, 9 people. You'll spoil me. Spoiled. I'm absolutely spoiled. I will see you guys next time.